Well, hello and welcome to the first Epic Universe construction update of 2025. With Epic Universe opening in about 4 months, the construction progress is in full force as work on this park is looking to wrap up. And according to some things I have heard, we should be hearing about AP previews and early park previews very soon. And in today's update, we'll be seeing how far the construction progress has come since late December and how much work is left ahead. But before we do that, for all those that are somehow unaware, Epic Universe is a brand new theme park coming to Universal Studios Florida and is currently set to open May 22nd of this year. Epic Universe is located just a few miles south of Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure in Orlando, Florida. This new park will include brand new lands themed to How to Train Your Dragon, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Universal Monsters, and my personal favorite, Super Nintendo World. So let's not waste any more time and dive right into today's update by heading over into the Dark Universe. At the entrance of Dark Universe, we can see a purple orb is now installed here, and this shot is great and shows how everything is really coming together here with the themed walkways and Darkmoor Village in the background. And looking a little closer, we can see some lighting in the portal itself, where the white is that will say the slogan for the land, as each portal is going to have its own slogan inscribed. And looking at Darkmoor Village, dare I say this area looks complete and it looks fantastic. And here in the village where the bathrooms are, we can see it says, I think, Toiletria.
I don't know it.
Or something along those lines. The well in the center of the village also looks complete and ready to go as well. And over at Frankenstein Manor, I don't know what else to say other than this looks amazing. And all the trees in the land here are going to create a very ominous feeling at night. And again, I have no words for how great this building looks. It may be one of the best themed buildings I have ever seen in a theme park setting. Now, near the ride entrance for Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment, we can see some test seats where guests can test out the ride vehicles before entering the queue. And here's a look at the finished and ready to go extended queue for Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment. And here also we can see light testing is ongoing still on the tower of the manor, and I can attest to this as I was able to see the light testing firsthand when we stayed at the newly opened Stella Nova Resort last week. Near the Frankenstein Manor, the Curse of the Werewolf roller coaster, we can see some U-shaped frames that are going to be for safety nets for areas where this ride goes over guest walkways, and will soon have the netting installed on them. Well, that's it over here in the Dark Universe. Let's head over into the Ministry of Magic to check out their progress in this land. The entrance area for the Ministry of Magic is looking almost complete, with the colorful walkway and the landscaping and other elements really coming together. At the entrance portal to the land, we can see where the slogan for the land is being prepped, and other elements on the portal look to just be about complete. Now, this is a great look at the entrance area behind the portal, and things are looking closer and closer to being done in this land. Now, I would say this land as a whole is perhaps the closest to being completed out of all of the lands, as the walkways and the streets have been done for a while, and the building facades are looking just about complete, and everything in here is really looking fantastic. The Quidditch store sign looks to be complete here, and the staircase in the back of the land looks to be also complete, as well with a new statue that seems to have popped up over on these stairs here. And in this view of the back side of this red tent, which is the entrance for the stage show in the land, we can see where the signage will go above it, and it really does fit about perfectly about how Universal showed this in the concept art. This view is an interesting one, as behind the land, the expansion pad that we can see here now has grass on it and will be used for a future expansion of this land. And at the entrance of the Battle at the Ministry, we can see the ride details signage and likely where the line will begin to go into the Metro Flu area before going into the actual ride queue of this highly anticipated ride. And to the right of the entrance, we can see there are now some test seats here as well, where guests can test out the ride vehicles before entering the queue. Well, that's going to do it over here in the Ministry of Magic, but let's head over into the land I'm most looking forward to, Super Nintendo World, to see the progress over here. Now, over at the entrance portal of the Super Nintendo World, there are now decorative elements, a mushroom, and stars above the warp pipes. And in this side view here, we can see a good look at the entire entrance plaza for Super Nintendo World with the landscaping, and also get a glimpse of Pizza Moon and the Super Nintendo store that is going to set outside the land, which is a major Nintendo retail shop. Now, a cool thing here is the icon on the entrance portal is actually a flipping coin, where on one side there's an old school Mario, and the other side is the modern Mario that we all know from the modern games. Now, I do love this little shout out here to the old 8-bit original Mario game that really started it all. Now, outside the land, like we mentioned, there is the Nintendo Superstar Store, and in the windows, we can see Mario, Peach, and Donkey Kong in this view. But what's really interesting is in the fourth window that we see from another angle is Link from The Legend of Zelda. Could this be a teaser to the long-rumored Legend of Zelda land that would replace the Lost Continent? Now, I do actually feel like this could be signaling that Zelda is going to be coming to the parks, as every other character that is featured in these windows is currently in Epic Universe.
It's beautiful.
We can also see Bowser statues near the entrance of the store here as well. And moving into the Mushroom Kingdom, there is a lot of progress that has happened since our last update. Peach's castle is getting close to being completed, and just to note, the towers on the ends will not have pink spires on them. We can also see the concrete pattern in front of the castle is just about done as well. And here we can see the work is finishing up on the entrance to a power-up mini-game section that is next to Peach's castle. And over at Bowser's Fortress, this entire area looks like it may just be complete, and as a lifelong Nintendo fan, I will just say, this looks awesome. We can see a Bowser-themed light post has also been installed as well. And looking close at the entrance, we can see ride information and a height measurement sign have recently been installed also. And Toadstool Cafe is looking great and is just about to be completed, it seems. And over at Yoshi's Adventure, the Yoshi egg that was in the sign has been taken down for the time being, and is a common theme you will notice in all the ride entrances, or most of the ride entrances in Epic Universe. The height signage and other elements of information for the ride have been installed. And this entire area with Yoshi's Adventure and Mount Beanpole, it looks just about complete, and I know it's going to come as a shock when I tell you this, but I'm loving how this is looking.
What can I say? I like the way you're put together.
More signage is up with the 1UP Factory sign, which is a Nintendo retail location. And here we have a great view at the entrance portal to the Donkey Kong Country area. And over at Minecart Madness, there is ride testing happening with some lucky people getting to ride it that I am in no way whatsoever jealous of at all. Not one bit.
Right.
And the entrance to Minecart Madness is now up with all the ride signage and wait times here as well. And we finally have the water effects rolling on Minecart Madness that I've been looking forward to seeing for weeks now. The mist we can see here is likely to hide this side track as this ride operates on, so guests are more immersed into the idea of being on a runaway minecart. Another beautiful sight to behold is Donkey Kong's treehouse, and I know, this is going to be yet another surprise. This looks fantastic. Universal just also announced officially that guests will be able to meet Donkey Kong and other characters here. We had assumed this would be the case as they are doing this in Donkey Kong Country in Japan, and as somebody who is not into meet and greets personally, I do want to meet Donkey Kong, as that meet and greet really looks fantastic. And over at Funky's Flying By, we can see that the plane here, which is a gift shop, looks like it's either done or close to being done, and the divider between Donkey Kong Country and Mushroom Kingdom has more theming work being done to it here. Well, that's going to do it over here in Super Nintendo World. Let's head over into the How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk to check out the progress in this land featuring dragons and Vikings. Now, the entrance portal to the Isle of Berk was well behind most of the other portals in the park, but it has made some pretty good progress since our last visit. The orange orb has been installed at the top, and landscaping around it is starting to come together. On the reverse side of the entrance, a lot of this area has also come a long way since our last update. And over at the Viking Training Camp Kids Play area, there has been a ton of progress here, and we can now see Toothless has popped up in a play area, and multiple different obstacles and ramps are being completed. And as somebody who has kids in an age range that this is made for, I think kids are absolutely going to love this area. At Dragon Racers Rally, there is a lot more theming that has been completed, along with banners, dragon houses, and we can also see the King's Throne at the top here. And we have another wait time sign that has been installed over here at Dragon Racers Rally. And one cool thing about staying at Stella Nova is you can see some elements of Epic Universe from the hotel pretty easily, and one of the easiest ones to see is the mountain that is in the Isle of Berk, and this view here from Stella Nova taken by BioReconstruct really doesn't get old when you're staying at the hotel. And here is what the mountain looks like in the park at a little bit of a higher resolution view. And looking over the shoulder of Mead Hall, we can see the water in the bay has been drained again as finishing touches are being done in this area. You can also see great views of Dragon Racers Rally as well from Stella Nova, like you can see right here. And at the entrance of Hiccup's Wing Gliders, we can see the entrance and gift shop theming looks to be all but complete here. And in the same area in the village center, the fountain here has made some good progress, and it also is close to being done, it seems. And at the entrance to Mead Hall, which is the main dining location in the land, we can see themed doors have been installed. And I will say this entrance looks very grand as you have the Viking statues on each side of the entrance, and these themed doors really do give it a cool effect. And we've known that there will be moving dragon elements in the land, and here we can see some robotic dragon tails that will be moving as guests are in the park. Now, one thing that is cool about it, but not only this land, but also in Super Nintendo World, is really the kinetic elements of movement that will be taking place. And over at the family-friendly Fire Drill Boat Ride, the roof here has its theming complete, and the canopy over the queue area also looks like it is complete. And a lot more elements have been added and themed in Fire Drill also. Now, although this is a simple family boat ride, all the elements in here do look very visually appealing, and I do think this can be something that families and children alike are going to enjoy. Well, that's going to be it for over here in the Isle of Berk, but let's head over into the center of Epic Universe in Celestial Park to see the progress over here. In a really great shot at the Luna Overlook, we can see the Luna statue has been unveiled, and it looks just like the concept art that Universal has showed us for this area. And in the last update, we saw the Meteor Astro Pub sign being prepped on the ground. We can now see that it has been installed. And also attached to Meteor Astro Pub, it looks like there will be an outdoor bar area here. And on the ground next to the bar is a silver ball that has the word Zenith on it, which more than likely would indicate that this is going to be the name of this outdoor bar. And on the other side of Meteor Astro Pub, we can see that the back side of it is right in front of the entrance to the Ministry of Magic, and it has now large rings that have been installed on the backside here. And speaking of restaurants, we can see the Oak and Star Tavern here, and at 1 is some theming in progress at the chimneys, and the scaffolding at the right highlights the roof peak, which is likely a ceiling peak inside. At 2, there are starlights being added to the exterior, and at 3 is a kiosk for monitoring the exit of Dark Universe. Looking over at Constellation Carousel, there's been a lot of progress since our last update, as the queue area is now covered and it has theming elements on the roof. And looking at the whole area, it looks great, and again, it's shaping up to look just like the concept art, and I don't think I've ever been this excited to check out a carousel in a theme park, especially at night. And in this close-up shot, we can get a glimpse at some of the figures that guests will be riding on the carousel here. And a few updates ago, we noticed that a berm that was being built over here by Constellation Carousel was dismantled, and it seems in its place is just some basic landscaping here and some trees maybe that'll pop up. And checking in on Stardust Racers, there really isn't much to note, although there is some progress on the Comet here. And at the large fountain in Celestial Park, we can see there is green turf going to be in the seating areas that is close to being complete, and the entire area around here looks to be wrapping up construction very soon. Now, near the large fountain in Celestial Park is the kids splash pad area called Astronomica, and it looks like it's either done or very, very close to being completed. Now, while the Luna statue looks to be just about complete, the Helios statue that sits near Helios Grand Hotel is still having a lot of work happening on it. And like many areas of Epic Universe, we see another colorful walkway that is now visible near Helios Grand Hotel, and we can also see the Blue Dragon Pan-Asian restaurant is making some good headway on its progress also. And looking over at Celestial Park in this wide shot, we can see things aren't far from being completed, as walkways are now paved and landscaping is seemingly going into high gear here. Now, moving over to the entrance plaza of Epic Universe, we can see the Kronos is just about complete, but also the entire plaza is looking closer and closer to being done here. We can see on the Kronos looking closer, there is a sphere that has been installed that will very likely have some lighting effects at night, as this has been tested and there are various lighting elements that show up on the Kronos at night. And we can get a peek here at the entrance point in the facial recognition scanners that are here just like in the other Universal Studios parks. Now, it should be noted that Universal is currently testing facial recognition where you don't even need your ticket or annual pass, but they will just do everything with a face scan. So potentially it could make getting into the parks much quicker, as you would just do a facial scan and go right into the park. Well, that's going to do it over here in Celestial Park, but before we go, we're just going to update about the hotels and roads around Epic Universe. Now, the first aspect of Epic Universe to open is the Stella Nova Resort that opened on January 21st. Now, if you want more information about this brand new hotel, you can check out our full review and tour of Stella Nova, which will be linked above and also in the description of this video, as we do a complete breakdown and very honest review of this new hotel and if you should stay here if you're looking to go to Epic Universe. Now, there's also some good progress on the roadways around Epic Universe, and here we can see road signs have been recently installed here. And having driven into Stella Nova, it has come a long ways with the road construction, but if you're in this area, it is still under heavy construction as they are trying to wrap up all this road construction before Epic Universe opens. Now, the new Universal Studios signs have also been installed and have begun being tested. And here the parking lot for Epic Universe looks like it's about ready to go. And here in this overhead view, if you look at the left, this is where guests from Stella Nova can walk directly over for easy access to Epic Universe. Now, in this wide shot here of some of the roadways around Epic Universe and the Stella Nova and Terra Luna hotels, we can see at 1 is a traffic light installation at Universal Boulevard and Kirkman Road. At 2 is the raised traffic circle that is supposed to improve traffic flow between Kirkman and Epic Boulevard. And 3 is Universal's new electric bus depot. And here's the current status of the entrance toll plaza for people driving into Epic Universe. And the raised traffic circle is just about complete and is likely to be done before Terra Luna opens March 25th. Well, that's going to do it for this Epic Universe construction update. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel before you go, as around here we cover Epic Universe, Universal Studios, Disney World, and pop culture. And also here at Capture the Magic, we have informational videos to help you have the best time when heading to Universal Studios, Disney World, and eventually Epic Universe. And if you want even more Universal Studios and Disney World information, you can check out the Capture the Magic podcast, where we share tips, reviews, money-saving strategies, and more. You can find the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts and also here on YouTube over at CTM Podcast. And let us know in the comments, given the current status of the construction of Epic Universe, what is your best guess or updated guess as to when we may start seeing annual pass holder previews, team member previews, or overall soft openings for Epic Universe? And until next time, we will see you in the parks.